muted.
Hello everyone, and welcome to today's GLSU webinar sponsored by Z-Option. My name is Tim Curtin. I will be moderating and presenting during today's session, and I want to first thank everyone for taking the time to join us for this quick 30-minute webinar. First, let's review a few housekeeping things before we start. Audio is available by dialing the number provided. If you're having any audio issues, you may notify the webinar organizers through the chat panel on your webinar control panel screen, and we will try to assist you with your audio issues. If you do have any questions during this session, we ask that you prepare them for the end of the webinar. You may type your questions in the questions panel or the chat panel, and we will try to answer most of the questions in our Q&A session near the end of today's webinar. The format in today's webinar will include an introduction followed by a review of GLSU. After a brief demo, we will have time for questions followed by a quick wrap-up. So I'm going to begin to tell you a little bit about Z-Option, the company itself. We're located in Lewisville, Texas, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We were formed about 17 years ago by accountants and programmers who supported SAP accounting professionals. We are an SAP software partner, and we work exclusively in SAP, and we offer solutions in various areas of the SAP landscape. We have customers of all sizes and in all industries all around the world. And we pride ourselves on providing world-class products and support to our customers of, as we said, of all different sizes and in all industries. So Z-Option provides what we consider the best of the best in spreadsheet integration solutions. Today we're going to be talking about GLSU. Tomorrow we're having a webinar on our EasyScript product, same time. You should have that information as well. And on Thursday we will have a 30-minute webinar on our budget loader solution. So the first question we usually ask is, why do you need an Excel uploader? Well, first of all, anybody in the finance world probably already uses Excel on a daily basis. Our products use all of that standard functionality. You can calculate values. You can populate your templates with those calculated values. You never have to rekey those values again, as you can write formulas just like you do in everyday Excel. That minimizes the chances of any errors that you might have, things like that. And we figure you can create more detailed information in much less time and with a lot less effort by using what you already know. Hopefully that will give you more time to do your variance analysis and spend time on some of the more analytical types of things that happen in everyday accounting life. So why GLSU from Z-Option? Well, there's a couple different scenarios. Obviously, if you're a new implementation of SAP or even a re-implementation, you can avoid that throwaway custom legacy data interface program that you may have built for that one-time data migration, and you can use this on a daily basis going forward. So this tool is not just a one-time use tool. It can be used for those what you consider one-time projects, and then use it on a daily basis as well. And more importantly, you free up those development resources, those IT resources, to work on other things that you can't get with an off-the-shelf solution like this. On the technical aspect, we offer a free remote service. It only requires about 60 to 90 minutes of time to get the software on your existing SAP server. No new hardware is required. We hope to reduce your support and ongoing development costs because we do all that in-house. We have our own support website and call-in system. So we do all the support, and we develop the product as the SAP and Microsoft Excel landscape change, things like that. We hope that will simplify your SAP upgrade process. So some of the current challenges that we find with our customers or our prospects is that they may have an upload tool, but it's very inflexible or maybe even non-existent. Maybe they do not have one. As we all know with SAP, those large journal entries, when they do produce errors, sometimes they come back and they give you one error at a time and you think you fixed it, and then you try it again and it's not quite fixed. Those kinds of issues. As we mentioned, we can help with the SAP upgrades, mergers and acquisitions. Our products handle multiple currencies, cross-company postings. And the big one is that last one. Everybody's looking for a quicker month-end close process, and with this product, we can definitely help with that. Hopefully cut hours and potentially days off of your month-end close. Some of the key features of GLSU, and we'll get into most of these today. Obviously, it's a very easy user interface. It's Excel. You can leverage all your existing Excel skills. It posts directly from the spreadsheet, so there's no exporting out to some file on your shared drive and then going into SAP and importing that same file. It goes straight from your spreadsheet into SAP. The layouts are flexible. You can attach the source workbook, which is a huge audit time savings. Document numbers get returned. You can post more than that 1,000 line limit of SAP. And you can also post multiple documents from a single worksheet. Some common uses. People use this for miscellaneous vendor uploads, payroll entries, and I'm going to be showing you some of the new features that help with those very large file uploads. There's a travel expense process. P-cards, obviously, another large one. We have many customer stories out on our website. Down there at the bottom, zoption.com. You can go out there and look at some of our customer success stories that they've helped us publish dealing with the majority of these common uses. So GLSU uses the SAP GUI to authenticate users. So there is no additional login IDs and login credentials that you have to remember. You'll see when I log in here in just a few minutes, I'm using my everyday SAP user ID and password that I use to get into my SAP system. So you don't have to create a whole new set of authorizations. So I'm going to move on to the demo because we do have a short amount of time today. I'm going to go into an Excel workbook. Everybody should be able to see that on my screen. And like I mentioned, our latest version of GLSU is version 6.0, and I know we have quite a few customers on the line today, current customers of this product. So I'm going to be highlighting a few of the new functions with the latest version, and for current customers, those versions are free of charge for you to upgrade to. It just takes maybe a couple hours of time on your end to work with our support team to get that upgrade. But the first thing I want to point out is what's on the screen here. Now with GLSU 6.0, we have the ability to map data from those large external or third-party vendor or files. I always like to use the example maybe a P-card American Express file. Let's say this is an American Express file we get from American Express either daily, weekly, monthly, whatever it is. And this is just some screenshots here. But the information may come in this form up here at the top, all of this raw data. It's just a bunch of lines, a bunch of fields, straight from that third-party provider. Now with GLSU 6.0, there's the ability to map that raw data into a GLSU template. So you have a GLSU template created. And for some of you, that may not make sense, but I will show you how to create a template here in just a few minutes. So you have a template created, and this raw data file is now on the right-hand side of this next screen. you can grab that raw data and drag and drop it into your template with this new mapping feature that we have. And you do this one time, and then every day or week or month that file comes in, all you have to do is import that file into GLSU, and it will map those fields and those values into the template that we do this one time. So the resulting template ends up looking something like this. This is a GLSU template. All of your fields are on there. They're in the right columns. It should literally take a matter of minutes to upload a 10,000-line American Express data file into a GLSU template each time you have to do that. Instead of what some people have told us may take 8 hours to 20 hours a month, now should only take a couple of minutes with this new feature. We do have a very extensive video on this feature that shows all kinds of different scenarios of how that data comes in and how it would work. We can definitely get that to you if that's something you would like. All you have to do is access our website and request that. So now I'm going to go to a blank spreadsheet. We're going to build a template, and I'm going to show you how the functions of GLSU work. And I will point out that some of the functions are new, so those customers that are on the line will understand that. As you see, I'm in an Excel template. GLSU is just an Excel add-in. It's up here in the add-in or in the menu tabs up at the top. And all of the functions related to GLSU are right here in the ribbon itself, and we'll touch on most of these. So I'm on a blank sheet, and there's 3 different ways that you can create a template or load a template. When I go to initialize, it's going to give me those 3 options. The first option is nothing new for current customers. It's initializing from a blank spreadsheet, and I'll show you how to do that here in just a second. The second option is initializing from a stored template. So a premium user of GLSU has the ability to store the templates that they want all the other users to use on the SAP server, and they can store as many as they want. I would say the common practice is there's probably 3 to 8 templates that they may store out there. You don't have to store them, but you can. And then a standard user goes out and grabs those templates, and they have all the fields they need, and they just populate it. So I'll show you that one here in just a second as well. The third one is a very cool option, and I'm going to show you this at the very end of the demo, but this is the ability to create a template from something that you've already posted in SAP. So this could be a document that I posted 6 months ago. I can go in here, select this option, and I can build a template based on that document that I posted 6 months ago, and it takes a matter of probably 3 to 5 seconds. And I will show you that here very shortly. So the first one I want to show you is this initializing from a stored template. So when I click on that, the very first thing it's going to ask me to do is log into the system. Again, this is my normal SAP user ID and password that I use every day. And as soon as I do that, it's going to check my authorizations, make sure I have the ability to do what I'm trying to do. And it's going to pull up, whoops, it kicked me out of there. Get back there. It pulls up a list of my stored templates. So in this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 templates that are stored on our server. Again, the premium users have created these for me. And these are the ones they want me to use depending on what I'm doing. If I'm doing a cross-company example, miscellaneous vendor, a COPA, I'm just going to do this 2-line demo example. I'm going to download it. It's going to say, where do you want to download that to? And I'm going to put it out in my desktop on my GLSU templates. And as soon as I do that, there's my template for my 2-line demo example that I've been told to use. And I have everything I need. Now all I have to do is populate the template. So that's one way to create a template. I'm going to go back to my other workbook here. And I'm going to initialize again. So I just showed you the second one. Now I want to show you the first one, which is initializing just from a blank template like I have on my screen. I'm going to click OK. And the first thing that pops up is our GLSU options menu. We can also get to this by going up here to our options icon in the ribbon. This is where we select which SAP system we're going to work in. Now this is a list of what systems I have where GLSU GLSU is installed. So this could be your dev system, your QA, production, maybe a sandbox. I'm going to leave it where it's at. That's our ECC 6.0 system. GLSU supports 4 different types of transactions. You can post or park a document, and those are essentially the same other than they create 2 different types of documents, a parked document in SAP versus a posted document in SAP. We can do accrual deferrals, and we can do foreign currency adjustments as well. I'm going to leave it on post because I want to show you that all the way to SAP. We have a few different validation options here. And these radio buttons down here, these allow you to process the active worksheet only, which is kind of the common practice, and that's the one that's right in front of us. Now, if we want to post, I have this workbook down here with many different examples. If I want to post all of them at once, or maybe 5 of them, I can choose one of these other options and then tell it which worksheets I want to post. But for this demo, I'm just going to leave it on the currently selected one. I'm going to click OK, and as you see, there is a template in the background, but the Select Fields menu pops up, and this is how you create the template. Again, you can get to this by going to the Choose Fields icon up here in the ribbon. Now, on the left-hand side, these are all the fields reading directly from my SAP system, because we logged in already. But if this was on your system, this would read your SAP fields. So if you created custom fields for yourself because of some certain scenario in your business organization, that would show up in here as well. So that's what's on the left-hand side. Across the top here, these are our header fields. In the lower section are our detail or line item fields. And then on the right-hand side, these are all the fields that are currently on my template. And these are all on here by default. You can add additional defaults if you want to. There's certain ones you always have to have, like document type, company code, posting date. But you can add certain defaults that you know you're going to want on every template. So I have everything I need for this example. The one thing I don't like as a user, I don't like the location of my cost center down here at the end of the line. I always like my cost center right next to my account, and that's just the way I've posted my entries for the last 5 years. So I'm going to grab that cost center, and I'm just going to drag and drop it where I want it. And I've moved it up by my account, and when I click Accept, you'll see there's my template, and there's my account and my cost center right next to each other. And again, that's just my preference. The person in the office next to me may like it in a different format. That's okay. That's the flexibility of GLSU. So I have everything I need. I'm going to populate this to show you how the errors work, how the pick lists work, things like that, and some of the new functions. So I'm just going to do a document type of SA, which is a GL entry. My company code is 3000. Now when I get to document date, I can use the F4 key, my function 4 key, which is my lookup, and it brings up a calendar. Today's December 8th. That's just fine. Now to get that in the posting date, I can do that same process, or I can do a simple Control-C, Control-V to get that, because I am in Excel, to get that over there. I'm going to do a US dollar, and I'm going to do a webinar test, I'll call it. I'm going to leave the document number blank because when that comes back, it will come, or when we post this, it will come back from SAP. I'm going to do a posting key of 50. When I get to account and I use my F4 key, it brings up a valid list of my jail accounts. And you see these pins over here. This is new functionality. You can pin certain favorites to the top of your list. So if you're always using certain GL accounts, you can pin those to the top of the list there, which is what I did here. I'm going to use this petty cash account. I'm going to put in a dollar amount of $100, and it tells me I'm out of balance. It changes the cell to red. And I'm going to put in some text here, and let me just expand that field. And then on the other side of that entry, I'm going to do a GL debit, which is a posting key of 40. This time when I do my list, I want my supplies account, but I don't remember that number, and I obviously didn't pin it to my list up here. So I'm going to use my search functionality and type in the word supplies. And when I search for that, it brings back two that meet my criteria. I'm going to select that second one. I'm going to put in my $100, and I'm going to just do a Control-C, Control-V of that text, and I have created a two-line entry that I'm now ready to post. But the first thing I want to do is I want to validate this to make sure there's no errors. GLSU has great validation features. You saw one of them with the balanced amount. When I was out of balance, it told me that. But when I go up here to validate, it's going to access SAP, and it's going to check this template to make sure that I don't have any errors. And as you see, I have multiple errors. So it brings them all back at one time, which is, again, different from normal SAP, where you get one error at a time. But it gives you information about these as well. It tells you what's wrong. This one tells me I spelled GLSU incorrectly. That's a user exit validation, a custom thing that we've put in there. It's telling me that I need a cost object on my supplies account. There's some custom validations down here as well. I'm not going to spend time discussing what all those are, but it brings them back all at once. It gives us info about them, and we can actually click on these, and it will take us to the line item or to the cell itself where those errors occur. That should save a ton of time, especially on large entries. So I know where these errors occur, so I'm going to fix these real quick because I know we're coming up on our time limit here, and I want to leave some time for a couple questions. So I fixed my errors, and I could validate this again if I want, but when I click on this post key, again, a new feature. It used to say post or park based on how you configure this. Now it says either post or park. It doesn't say both of them. So I'm going to click post. It validates again for me. It's already done validating. Now it's going to post that document in SAP. And it gives me the option to attach this workbook if I want to or not. And not only the one sheet that I'm posting here, but it will attach the entire workbook to the document that I just posted. I'm going to say no in this case, just to save some time. As you can see now, there is my document number, my SAP document number that is returned to the template. And I can actually click on that, and it will take me directly into SAP to that entry that I just posted. So that's another nice option of GLSU. So let me go back here, and I want to show you one last thing. I'm going to copy this document number up here. Just do a Control-C, and I'm going to come over to my demo sheet 2. And it's another blank sheet. I'm going to initialize again. Now I just showed you this first option, and earlier I showed you how to create a template from a stored template. Now I want to show you this third one, which I mentioned earlier is the coolest part of GLSU in my mind. I'm going to click OK, and it's going to ask me what document do you want to reference, and I'm going to paste in there the one I just posted, but as I mentioned earlier, this could be something I did months ago. It doesn't have to be the one I just did. I need to know the document number, I need to know the header company code, and I need to know which fiscal year that was posted in. And if I know those three pieces of information, I can click OK, and I'm going to do that right now. And you'll see probably within 5 seconds, or probably 3 seconds, it created a template for me. Now it brings back everything that was in that SAP document, including all of the data, but I could easily go in here, delete this, and start keying it in again. Maybe I just need to change the date and the dollar amounts. One thing you will notice is it brought back something called a business area, and I didn't have that on my initial template. Now you can train the system to suppress certain fields from coming back if you want to, or if I don't want that, I can just come up here to my Choose Fields option. There's my business area, double click it, click Accept, and it's gone. I'm ready to use this template again right away. So that is the end of the demo. I know it was very quick. We do offer these online demos all the time, so if your organization or if you want to bring this back to a larger group of finance users maybe, we can definitely do an hour to an hour and a half long demo maybe take a little more time, show you some other features. This was our quick one to kind of introduce you to it and show some new features. And we do have about 3 minutes left for questions. So if you want to, you can add those to the chat panel or to the Q&A panel. And I do see I have a couple questions that I'm going to get to. But I want to make sure we get back to, as you're preparing those questions, just know that you can contact me or you can contact the Z-Option website to request any further information or to request a demo. So let me get to a couple of these questions if I can. The first question is, can I enter multiple headers in the same worksheet? The answer to that is yes. We have something called a dropped header, where you can bring down those header fields that I had up in the top section. You can bring those down into the line item section. And as any of those header fields change, let's say you have multiple document types or multiple posting dates or currencies, anytime one of those values changes, a new document is created. So you can post any number of documents using that dropped header functionality. Another question, can a stored template be executed in any SAP client? The answer to that is also yes. Those templates are just normal Excel workbooks that can be uploaded into each individual client where GLSU is stored on. So you do have to put it on the SAP server, but then a standard user can go in and use that. Question, do you have to remove the document number in the current file that is shown? Yeah, the one I just posted, and actually the one I brought back from SAP, did have a document number up there. Now, if I tried to post that again right away, the system would give me a message that, hey, this document has a number, it looks like it's already been posted. Do you want to clear that document number and post it again? And you can just answer yes if you want to, or you can just delete that document number using your delete button, and it will be ready to post again. But it will warn you that that one looks like it has been posted before. This is a good question here, and this might be the last one I have time for. SAP has different entry screens. How do you create your template in Excel and in which order? It really, as I showed you by moving that cost center field around, it really doesn't matter what order the fields are in on your Excel template. Once it gets to SAP, I'd like to refer to it as buckets. It kind of puts them in each individual bucket as needed. It's based on the technical name of that field. So it doesn't matter which order you put those on your template. You don't have to match it up to a specific SAP entry screen, for instance. I know there's the FB50, F-02, and I know they have different screens. This all falls under the FB01 transaction, so you don't have to try to match a template. Now you can create templates that match maybe a third party, like that American Express example I used. Maybe they send you information in a certain format. You can create a template to match that format and then copy and paste the info into that Excel template if you wish. I know we have a couple other questions on here. I'm going to get all of those out of here, and I will do my best to answer those. I have everybody's email that joined, and I will get those back to you. I know we're out of time. I definitely want to make sure you know that we have a 30-day free trial period with our softwares, so you can put those on your test system and try them out in your environment, make sure they do exactly what we tell you they do. And also, you can request a demo at the Z-Option website, www.zoption.com, anytime. There is a recorded version of this webinar that I'm recording right now. It will be available if you would like that. You can also go through zoption.com to request that. Thank you all for joining us, and I hope you have a wonderful afternoon.